I'm here in the Transor Filter Systems booth at N7347 with Irv Kagi, who is the president of Transor, and we're here to talk about an oil filtration system. So why is it important to filter your oil in your machines?
Well, I think that oil filtration is probably a misunderstood aspect of the machining process. That when you're machining, you obviously have to go and remove the particulate away from the gap where you're machining and remove it from the oil. And if you don't do that in an efficient fashion, then obviously you have problems in terms of quality and accuracy and cycle time issues.
So the machine behind us is something you're really known for and that your customers know you for. So why don't we go check that out and you can tell me a little bit more about it.
Sure.
All right. So here we are, and you were showing me that this is the oil once it's been filtered. Is that correct?
Right. I mean, there's all sorts of different ways you can go and filter oil, and to many different levels. And Transor is a company that's known for 1 micron filtration absolute.
Okay. And can you tell me, what are we looking at here? How many machines can this filtration system be hooked up to?
Sure. This would be a system that would produce clean oil at a rate of about 270 gallons a minute. So it could handle about 10 tool and cutter grinders.
And are these machines customizable for your customers?
We work very closely with our customers to be able to go and provide them the solution that they need in terms of flow rate and pressure and also temperature control.
And so I understand that you obviously very closely work with your customers, and you built a solution for one of them?
Actually, for many, as a company, we're really applications driven, which means that although we have a particular niche in the marketplace for people that produce carbide cutting tools, oftentimes we have customers approach us and say, we have another application we have an issue with, and can you help us with that? This was a unit that actually was a custom design for Honda Motor Works, that they were familiar with our product from a cutting tool perspective. And when they began their expansion in 3 phases down in Ohio, they were looking for a filtration solution for their Studer machines. And one of the other people who was familiar with our product had said, "You're going to check out Transor, right?" And they weren't familiar with us, but it resulted in a dialogue with them that led to the system that you see here. This system filters to 1 micron absolute. It's designed not for carbide, but it's designed for steel or hardened steel magnetic applications. And it's a totally encompassing unit in the respect that it has a built-in magnetic separator pre-filter where the oil flows through that first before going back to the filter. Once it gets to the filter, it's exposed to Transor's unique filter elements. And although this is a miniature version, okay, the fluid is pumped towards the center of each element, and all debris larger than a micron is trapped on the filter edge, hence the name of the concept, edge filtration. It filters to 1 micron, but the fact of the matter is that rather than replacing these filter elements, they're cleaned automatically every 8 hours with no downtime in the machine and no operator involvement. We have customers that haven't replaced their elements for better than 10 years.
So what would you say to a customer if they were to stop by your booth? What's the one thing you want them to take away from this?
The one thing I would want them to go and take away from it is that, we're a global company. And as we travel around the world, although the language is different and the culture is different, all companies are faced with the same challenge nowadays, and that is their customers ask them to go and produce a product of higher quality, quicker and cheaper. And how do you do that? And the answer is you have to look at the process. It's more than just the new machine tool or the new grinding wheel. You have to go and look at all the pieces of the puzzle, and that includes the type of oil that you use, the type of filtration, and also the temperature control. And only when you put all those pieces of the puzzle together are you able to go and see the picture clearly. And that's the difference between an ordinary company and an extraordinary company.
Well, thank you so much, Irv. Definitely stop by Transor Filter Systems booth in the North Building, 7347.